swinging. Derek Collins. 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 Swinging. Derek Collins.
Microphone on, desktop on, everything should be good. Yep, test. So, why don't you guys say something?
Yo.
Yep, there we go. We're good. All right.
Hold on, I'm
Testes,
just
1,
running
2.
a test real quick, and then I will be good to go. Or my Spotify still playing? All right. Am I unmuted? I'm not unmuted. See, I need to unmute. See, I'm a mess today. Okay, I'm always a mess, but I'm really messed. All right, Derek, you're good.
Yep.
Tyler, you're good. Corey, you're good.
Yep.
I'm Terps, by the way. Hi. or Dave,
Nice.
whichever one you want to call.
Yep.
Idiot. Take your pick.
Paraguayan Bulldog, Davy
Yeah.
Boy Terps.
Either one. Craig is going? Craig is going good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 2, season 3 of Off the Fair Pole. We got myself, Mr. Derek Holland, Mr. Van Dyermaker, and a very special guest today, Corey. I'll let Derek, you do you give us the rundown what we're doing today.
Yeah, so this is me and Dyer's childhood best friend. I've known Corey, since probably at least middle school, probably longer than that, probably elementary.
Yep,
Corey's
North.
dad, North Elementary actually. Corey's dad was my my teacher, my basketball coach. I mean, it's just basically another family. That's the easiest way to put it. All three of us have played baseball together when we went to Newark, the high school. So we've obviously been like best friends. We have a group chat. We literally just destroy each other in that every single day. Say who is the biggest piece of shit that day. But you know, most of all, it's all love. We all care for each other. We're always there for each other. The reason why we wanted to bring Corey on was he's gone through. This would be the perfect time to let Corey tell his story. And, you know, we're going to get into that later. You know, I want to get people to know who Corey is and what he's all about before we start diving into the more emotional side of it, I should say. But to me, you know, it's awesome. I get to have one of my best friends on here that I grew up with, and I get to basically, we're interviewing you. And, you know, going into this, it's going to be fun. We get to find out a little more about you. Hopefully you'll call me a piece of shit at some point during the show like you do in the group text. But no, it's this is really cool. It's going to be a very, very impactful thing for a lot of people to hear. And, you know, like I said, I've known Corey forever, obviously Dyer forever. We played baseball together. So this is cool to be able to have you on here. Dyer, I want to let you say a few things too, since, you know, obviously this is our childhood douchebag from back in Newark that we get to talk about.
No, yeah, like you said, man, I think, Corey, we go all the way back to, what was it, like 3rd or 4th grade when we played on the travel basketball team together.
Yep.
You used to call me Bird.
Yeah.
Your dad helped coach, and obviously since then, you know, we all been
Wait.
running together, went to high school and played ball.
Hold up.
Yep.
Hold up. They're saying they can't hear anything, but all my audio is going off like I can.
My chat can hear everything.
Your chat can hear everything. What about in my stream though? I'm talking about my stream. Oh wait, they said it's good. All right, never mind.
Okay, it was just a blip. It was a blip.
All right. Sorry, carry
Yeah.
on. I just saw that.
Dyer,
You're
real
good.
quick. My most memories of you is choir. We were fucking
Yep.
badass in choir.
Oh, Dyer was in the
That's for
choir.
sure. Oh yeah.
man.
Yep.
Dyer,
Me and Corey were in the choir. We were
I
in the choir.
hold on, wait. Let me guess here, Dyer. You were a soprano.
Yes, since I'm the biggest pussy in the world. No, no, I actually sang a lower part than Corey did. I sang bass, and Corey was
Wow.
in the baritones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
We
No, that's
we
just
had
because
a bunch
that's-
of great songs we sang
You know,
together. How
the reason
blast.
was Corey could actually sing, and I couldn't, and it was easier to hide my voice in the basses than it was because Corey was in the baritones, where that was the part where you could actually hear what
Dyer,
people were doing.
How many times did you actually sing, and how many times did you just move your mouth and stand there?
There were times when I did. Our choir teacher, Mr. Wigglesworth, was not shy about telling people when it was time to just lip sync and let everybody else sing.
A way to be there. Corey, just so you know, in my chat, you are J Mid's favorite guest because you are a Bengals fan.
Oh really?
Of all the guests we've had, including all the professional athletes, you are his favorite.
Dude,
Listen.
ask Dyer and Derek about my Bengal fandom. They'll tell you I'm probably the number one. They know out of everyone, probably.
Yeah, it's always we get some pretty violent texts from Corey when the Bengals are playing. I will say that.
Corey is the biggest Bengals fan that I know, and I respect him so much for that because I can appreciate it and I can relate to it because I'm a huge Browns fan myself. And I feel like the two franchises, the two fan bases have been through a lot of the same things. And so, I'm rooting for the Bengals when they're not playing for the Browns. I'm rooting for the Bengals right now to win the Super Bowl because Corey,
Me
one of
too.
my favorite people on this planet, I want to see you enjoy the championship that I wish that I could enjoy someday, and I think someday we will.
Oh
It would
yeah.
be
Oh, we
amazing
will
to
next
see
year.
our teams play against each other in the AFC Championship game or something at some point. That would
Them to win. I'm not lying. I picked them to win. I
Nice.
had to do that today on the show, but yeah, it's Corey is a huge Bengals fan. I mean, clearly as you see, he's wearing Bengals stuff. I mean, the guy's got
Hat makes it.
Do you have a Bengals bed?
No, I got a bunch of what's the word I'm looking for? They're not
Like
throws?
blankets?
blankets. Yeah. Where's the other one? I gotta know.
like an Afghan or something.
Yeah,
What?
like no,
Like a-
they're like,
like
An
a fleece,
Afghan?
like a
Isn't that
fleece
a
throw.
person?
yeah, a fleece. Yeah,
No.
it's over there somewhere.
An
Sorry.
Afghan's like a knitted.
I
Like,
know. I'm being stupid.
I know.
But no,
but
he's
you know someone's a true fan because all the fans have the sweatshirt, right? Everyone has a sweatshirt or a jersey. But the true fans when they have both the beanie and the sweatshirt.
he's got everything. I can promise you. Every year, it's like
I'm just-
tradition that we buy.
love
Like
it.
we
I'm
buy
just
gear. I get them. I get him a jersey, and I get Jape and myself and Dyer. Which that's why we lost this year because Jape and Dyer decided not to get Browns jerseys, and that's why Corey's winning because he got his jersey. So we fucked up. So that's all I got for that. But yeah, no, I'm not kidding. Like you talk about a fan, like I would say out of all of his teams that he cheers for, I would say the Bengals are the one. That would be your ultimate team. And I could be wrong, but I think that's the peak of peaks.
No, you're right. You are right.
Because I mean, you go on Facebook and troll everybody that's not a Bengal, and you are very outspoken when it comes to the Cincinnati Bungholes.
Corey, the video popped up on my timeline, I think like 2 days ago. I think that your sister actually posted from last year when McPherson kicked that 50-yard field goal to go to the Super Bowl
No, that was
last year. Or was it to the AFC Championship game?
yeah, that was against the Titans. That was a crazy game, man. Burrow
Yeah.
got sacked 9 times, dude. We still won. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Wow.
Whoa, voice crack.
Yeah. Going through puberty again.
No,
I
that's-
don't have enough. I gotta hit my 6'4".
but
Yeah,
Corey,
in that video, I was going crazy in that video.
yes,
Yeah, I watched it
believe
like
it.
3
Supposed to
times.
yell.
I watched it like 3 times because you were so happy, and that made me happy. So
Yeah.
it was cool.
We got a who day in the chat already, so you got fans here.
Hell yeah.
They're siding
Who
with you.
day?
You're gonna have a lot of those. We're gonna get that out of you later, though. I want to hear the "Who Day" chant. But I do want to say, give us a little bit about you for those that don't know you. How would you describe yourself? Just tell us a little bit about you, so that way we can kind of introduce that to the people that are here watching and listening.
So mostly important in my life is my 2.5-year-old daughter. She's basically everything I live for now. That and my family, like my sister and my dad, her boyfriend and stuff. I drive for UPS, been with UPS almost 18, 19 years. So been with them a long time. Good for my 401k, that's for sure. What else? Oh, I play softball a lot. I play with my sister a lot. So right now, like I'm a dad, full-time employee for UPS, and I play softball a lot from spring to fall. And other than that, I'm open book. Got any more questions?
Where are you on the softball field? Are you the power hitter? Are you a cleanup? You a rover in the field? Like
I hit home runs.
You hit
I've been
dingers?
smashing. Yep. And I'm a pitcher. So,
Are
yeah.
you slow pitch, modified
Yes.
fast, slow pitch?
It is
Yes,
all
slow
slow pitch,
pitch.
right?
Yeah.
Same. It's kind of the same thing when I play with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Nice little beer league. What's so obviously, we know that you're a Bengals fan. What are the other teams that you're a fan of? Let's, I want to share that
real
with
quick.
everybody.
One of the main reasons why I'm on here, I also hold 2 years and three
Oh shit, I was way off.
months.
I told everybody it was
So-
just at 2 years.
Oh, really?
Some
No,
friend
I
I
was-
am.
yeah,
Jeez.
almost 4 years, or almost 2 years and 4 months almost.
Hey.
But we'll get into
Fucking
why that.
Find out about you that
Hmm.
I don't know if you're
That's
ready to
fine.
share this stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. My other sports teams, I like Duke.
Yeah,
I
got
like him still, even though Coach K is gone. Duke, the Cavs. I'm a Cavs fan. You don't hear me say much about them, but I do like the Cavs. I like Ohio State, but not as much anymore. When I lived on campus, that kind of ruined like my fandom of being a huge Buckeye fan.
Hold on. Why? I want to know because I've never really
just-
heard this. Why is it that? I mean, you talk so
Just-
much
they were
shit to me,
I know.
which everybody does. You all do, so
They're
it doesn't matter.
cocky. They're cocky, and they won't admit the Big Ten is bad. I just like I try to see everything like hindsight. 2020 like, bowl games. The Big Ten win this year? What, like 2?
But
I
here's
think.
yeah, but the only thing about
But-
the only argument that people will go against that with you is a lot of the schools once they get to if they're not in the playoff
Right.
games, they just opt out. They're either declaring for the draft or whatever.
Opt-outs now.
Yeah.
It's all right, Maryland.
Yeah.
We did our job. I don't want the other two in here. We gotta have a talk, Mr. 0-2,
Yeah, that's fine.
between
But
you
we
two. We did our job. Y'all didn't. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
We
but
all
I
know.
graduated. Yeah,
But
I
it's-
graduated from
Touche.
Ohio State. So, I mean,
I'll shoot
Yeah,
on your diploma
I'm
anyway.
I'm a fan, but yeah, Derek, you don't hear me running my mouth much. Like when Michigan beat Ohio State, what was I like? I was like, "Congrats!" You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say you didn't really say too much. It
I
was
was like,
more.
I wanted Michigan to win the fucking national championship.
Yeah,
Mostly.
it was
Yeah.
more me just talking shit to Dyer and Jape because those
And yeah,
assholes
those
just
two.
go all out. Which Dyer's still waiting for his surprise.
God damn.
He has no idea that it's still there. So
I'm starting to get convinced that there's not actually something there, that you're just
I like
you
that.
just keep stringing this along to make me nervous and think that there's something that's going to come in the future that just never does.
Nope.
Well,
Like we're waiting for Godot.
you know what's gonna happen, Dyer? Is he stole?
Don't ever
but-
invite us
Oh,
out there. He
Mistake
lives
of
too
giving
far
him my
away.
new address.
Well, Dyer, you also gonna get shot. By how many paintballs? What do we got? 22 paintballs.
22 paintballs. He might get a.
22
He could get a
paintballs.
glitter penis bomb. What happened? Did I just freeze up? Well, clearly you guys are still talking, but I'm not. No way. You guys can hear me though, right? My stream's still going.
on
Oh.
back with Tim Hardaway, and that was back in the 80s. And then they tried again with the Fab Five, didn't. And that story on ESPN is fucking nice. The Fab Five story, whatever. I don't know if you guys seen that, but it's real nice.
I don't
But,
know what the hell just happened.
I also like the Blue Jackets.
I think you're back.
I am back.
Yeah, I think the Big Ten, especially in basketball, does fall prey to the we're just gonna beat the shit out of each other for 4 months. Because I
Yeah.
mean, even like Rutgers ain't ranked, and they took Purdue to the wire, and they're
Oh, they beat Ohio State twice.
yeah, like they're good.
guess-
They're not. I guarantee
Yeah.
you though, if the Big Ten for basketball is in the here's where I don't like it. If the Big Ten was in the ACC for basketball, there would be 4 or 5 Big Ten teams ranked in the top 15 right now. And if
Yep.
the Big Ten was in the SEC for football, like if the bias was shifted over
Right.
the course of the year, Penn State would have been Penn State would have ended like number 6,
Right.
maybe number 5.
Did
Like
they, did they win their bowl game, Penn State?
I don't.
I don't know.
I think there was only like 2 or 3 teams in the Big Ten that won their bowl.
Oh yeah,
game.
no. Penn State destroyed Utah.
Your
Oh, they
voice
did.
is
Oh,
cracking.
okay.
Yeah, they destroyed
That
Utah.
was That was Rose Bowl. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that was the Rose Bowl. That's the one bowl
Nice.
game that people still care about. Like
Right.
they'll still get up for the Rose Bowl.
Yep.
I just think that the bias is there a lot. Like I said, I feel like there would be a lot of teams in the Big Ten that would be ranked if the bias was not what it was
Right.
per se. And then the ACC is just a basketball. ACC is barely a basketball conference now.
Right.
4 or
Yeah.
5 schools that are good, and the SEC is so top heavy. You've got
Yeah.
LSU, Georgia,
Florida.
sometimes Florida. Depends which Florida
Yeah.
shows up. Alabama,
And you talking about football or basketball?
both.
Oh, but yeah.
It's really
true.
both.
Yeah, Alabama. They've been decent in basketball here, haven't they?
Yeah, I'd say
Tennessee
decent.
too.
Yeah.
Tennessee's been real good too.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I'll be curious once the football expands in 2 years or next year. Is it next year? 2 years? It's 2 years.
2 years.
USC
2
and
years. No,
UCLA.
when they go to the big
The
playoff
12
format,
team.
12 team format.
Oh, yeah,
Because I want to see is because you know dang well that a Big Ten school is going to end up hosting against an SEC school in December.
you
I
would
wanna-
think.
I want to see what happens when LSU has to go to Happy Valley in
Right,
December
in the freezing cold.
in
Yeah.
the freezing cold, or
It's
go to the
true.
Big House, or go to
That's where Big
Horseshoe,
Ten. That's
or
where
go
the
to
Big Ten will
Wisconsin.
shine.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what they're going to do? They're going to do the same bullshit they do all the time. They're going to play it at Ford Field. They're going to play it at Lucas Oil. They're going to play it at someplace, I don't know, on the East. They say a lot of things until it actually
until Nick
gets
Saban
presented as a
realizes
possibility.
until Nick
Yeah.
Saban realizes he has to go up and play Wisconsin for some reason and doesn't want to
Yeah.
deal with 88 fans playing jump around with negative
Right.
5-degree wind chill.
Jump
Yeah.
around.
That game will not ever in a million years happen at Camp Randall. I don't care what you say, who you are. Give me the situation when that is actually going to happen, and it won't.
That just how badly do you guys hypothetically think an SEC team would lose if A, Wisconsin was good enough to get there, and then B, they had to go to Camp Randall in
I mean,
December?
I'd love to see it. I don't know what happened.
I'd want to
actually.
see that.
Because
Yeah.
what happened when LSU went up to Wisconsin and they played in Lambeau, and that was an October game, and they got boat raced out.
My favorite thing, I don't know if you all saw it on Twitter, when people were talking about the first row, and people were talking about back when it was a question whether or not Tua was going to play in that game. People talking about him not being able to come up north. This would be the first time that he's in a big game up north, cold weather. And he said, "You guys know it gets cold in Alabama too, right?" And that was such a weird thing for him to say because maybe it does get cold in Alabama.
Not that kind of cold.
It don't get Buffalo
No.
cold in Alabama.
Yeah,
No, we
absolutely
don't.
not.
But here's the thing, Dyer. Joe Burrow, he played down at LSU. He never played any up like north game at all.
He
in the
did
snow
train with
or-
Ohio State though.
He's
He
an
wasn't
Ohio
there,
guy.
yeah, he
though.
did.
he's from
And he
Ohio.
has, yeah, he's an Ohio
Then
native.
dumbass Urban Meyer got rid of him.
Yes.
Like that just that's why another thing why I hate Ohio State. Joe Burrow is probably going to be the best quarterback ever played the game. That's just bias. What I'm saying. He's going to be real good. You know what I mean?
He's
Look
definitely
what he's
already
done
showing
in 3
that.
years. You know what I mean? And Urban Meyer's mistake walking on the highway, but I'm not trying to get any controversial with that. But like he started him over Joe Burrow. You know what I mean?
The
It's just
stable they had then was insane.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give yourself
Yeah.
credit. I mean, Cardell Jones,
Right.
Dwayne Haskins,
JT Barrett.
JT Barrett.
Yep.
Was
Yeah.
Braxton
Burrow.
making
was
a
Who-
great case though.
Who's
You guys are making the case
Who's
though
the
because
only quarterback to come out of Ohio State actually do anything in the pros?
but
like-
there's a reason why. There's a reason why.
nobody?
Because those guys, all those three guys, Cardell Jones, JT Barrett, Dwayne Haskins, those are system guys. Those are guys that were
Right.
products of the system, guys
Yep.
that
Put in
could
that
run
system,
that
yeah.
type of offense. Joe Burrow's not that guy. Joe Burrow's always been a pro
He's a
style kind of
genius.
quarterback.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and he,
like his
game
football IQ is like top notch.
Insane. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Ohio State quarterbacks haven't done anything in the NFL because the NFL doesn't run the kind of offense that Ohio State does or did. And that's why
true.
Joe
Yeah.
Burrow's having the success that he does
I
because
mean, it was
he's a pure quarterback. He's not a system quarterback.
the same situation with Alabama for the longest time. Because Nick Saban just ran what Nick Saban was going to run. and
Yep.
none of their quarterbacks until recently could do anything in the NFL
Right.
at all. And that's changed since a little bit, but it took
Yeah.
them. You would think that two colleges as storied as those two would have had pro success, and in reality, it's been like Oklahoma and like shit like
Right.
that. Who's had the professional quarterback success come out. So I mean, it's interesting. But the other side of the conversation is, well, okay, Ohio State's winning national championships. Alabama's winning national championships
Right.
consistently in that level. So does that make more sense why they wouldn't put up that kind of quarterback? Because they're just able to system.
Sure.
kind of
Seems
thing.
like it. Yeah. Hey, Dar, I got a question for you. Remember when you're giving me shit about who was it? The guy who played for the Giants said that Joe Burrow is like a young Joe Montana. You still disagree with that? Phil Simms. Phil Simms said
You're
that.
talking about Phil Simms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I still wouldn't go as far to say that. Joe Montana's a Hall of Famer, and Joe Burrow's played in the league for what, 3 years? Call it
Yeah.
2 years because he was hurt half of the first year.
Yeah, that was bad when he got hurt. They
Rex
weren't doing
Ryan.
anything out there though. Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, I still think that anytime that you compare somebody to a Hall of Famer in year one, I think that's overzealous.
Right. I think he was
but-
doing that year 2 midway through, I think. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. I think that's when
Even-
he said it. But either way,
so.
I was just, I'm just checking in on you. Like, are you still them boys? I'm that guy. Like, are you still them boys, huh?
I'm a
I mean,
Joe
Rex-
Burrow fan. I'm
Rex
not going to say
Ryan-
he's. I'm not going to compare him to Hall of Famers anytime soon. But talk to me in 10 years, he's still playing like this. Then we got a conversation.
Did you see
Hell yeah.
Rex Ryan's comparison last week? Or
He's
like a few days
who'd
ago?
he say?
Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's Tom Brady. Yeah.
He said he's Tom Brady.
Yep.
He's going to be the second coming of Tom Brady. Just because the way he plays, the poise he has, the style he plays,
yeah.
he will be this generation's Tom Brady, even though Tom Brady is still this generation's Tom. Either way.
Exactly right.
Yeah. But I mean,
Tom Brady could be the father of a lot of guys in the NFL right now,
Right.
based on age.
Yep.
Tom Brady should have retired. I said it. He should have retired.
Well, we did the power rankings today, and if Joe Burrow wins the Super Bowl, he may climb over Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, there
That's what
was
You
they're
have
saying.
to.
it won't be
You don't
it
have
won't be
to,
Patrick
but it's
Mahomes and the rest of the others. It'll be Joe Burrow and the other rest of the others.
this week is, and we were talking about this. It's kind of hard to sit here and say that by this week, if he wins, he climbs over Mahomes when Mahomes is technically hurt, like bad, and he's going to try to play. I think you're going to see Chad Henne at least in the second half, or maybe sooner. Mahomes, I don't feel like is going to play this full game, so that's the only reason why I don't
think
see
he
him
is.
passing. He will. He's going to get a cortisone shot before he plays, but I don't
Yeah.
see him passing Pat Mahomes until he gets that Super Bowl. He has to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
They
That's what
give
I'm
him a
Oh, yeah.
chance, but
Absolutely.
it's still going to be like a tier 1A Pat Mahomes, tier
Right.
1B Burrow, and then it's
Yeah.
like these other guys are tier 2, 3, and whatever.
And then
but
Jalen
yeah.
Hurts just like, look, I had a great season too, but like I'm
He's-
just being overshadowed by.
Yeah, but he's
Right.
shutting up the critics pretty good after being
Oh, I am.
told that he's not going to be a good quarterback, especially after last year. And then he comes into this year, and they've only lost 3
all fire
games.
and all cylinders.
He
Yeah,
was
doing
doing
well.
very well. So
And
he
a not
climbs,
easy
but he's
city
not.
to do it in too.
Oh yeah, 100%. And he's definitely. I mean, he's climbed, but he's not a. He would
Oh, that's
still
what
be
I'm
a
saying, though.
possible tier 2, maybe a tier 2B. You know, he's not. I don't think he's an
But
A yet.
That's just how crazy good those two guys are. You haven't heard jack shit about what he's done this year. And I hate the Eagles. Grew up in New Jersey, and all I've ever had to deal with is Chrissy Eagles fans. But like, you haven't. Even with all that being said, you haven't heard anything about what he's done. But if you look at what he's done this year, what the Eagles have done, if Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes didn't exist or weren't in the playoffs, that's all we'd be talking about. Would be
Oh, Brock
Jalen
Purdy,
Hurts.
bro.
same thing.
Huck Purdy!
He's doing.
He's still in high school, man. Look at his face. He's still in
What
high
do you
school.
do?
Well, I
if he
can't hate
wins.
on that. You can't go off of that.
If
The
he
poor
wins-
guy.
What,
You
what,
gotta-
what does San Fran
you
do if he
gotta-
wins it?
I mean, dude, I'm dropping all the quarterbacks if I'm the head coach of San Fran. I'm like, see ya, going Brock Purdy. Sorry, Trey Lance. Sorry, buddy. Trade him or something.
What
I
about
mean,
Garoppolo?
Oh, he's gone.
Jimmy
I
G.
think he's out the door. I think he was just there to fill in, a good backup because he
Did
had
well.
nowhere else to go. No one else wanted him, I don't think. So I don't know. We'll see.
He
though.
he wasn't even gonna play until Trey Lance got hurt this year.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll say this. That roster, San Francisco 49ers, is loaded. They they traded Jeff Wilson Jr. and he was good. Like he could be a starter on any team. And they just have just good roster.
They're gonna be good for
Yeah,
a
it's a-
while.
Yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
have.
One
I
of
don't.
those teams.
I hate to say it, but the Eagles win that game.
In
Think so?
Philly?
You're right.
In Philly? Yeah.
They're going to win that game. It's Eagles, Bengals in the
We'll
Super
see.
Bowl.
I have seen too many good teams, again, living in New Jersey, go into Philadelphia in a variety of sports and just leave in a coffin. Because that's what tends to happen in playoff situations in Philly. Because those
Right.
fans are just on another level. Everyone, I don't know what it is. Like Bengals, y'all have insane fans. Bills Mafia, insane fans. Browns, insane fans. But for whatever reason, Philly fans have always just been that neck, because a lot of fans have a line, and Philly's just like, how long will I be in jail for?
Yeah, Philadelphia is the most hateful fan base of any fan base that there is, and not just until either you change or you leave. Philadelphia doesn't want anything to do with you unless you are producing at the highest level. That's what
the
I will
player
say that
haters
about
ball
Philadelphia.
pile.
It is exactly right. It's imagine a stadium filled with Buck Nasty
Buck
and-
Nasty.
and you and all those guys. That is the fandom of of Philadelphia.
But if
Buck
you're
Buck
Yeah.
winning,
Nasty. And who's that? I'm the all-time hater. I forget.
Forget his
It
name.
was
The Dave Chappelle
Dave
character.
Chappelle. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Forget his name.
That's hilarious. That's so good.
but if you're winning in Philadelphia, that fan support is
Right.
Yep.
Top notch.
Corey, they go
Yeah,
to
it's
the.
just what's that?
No, go ahead. Go say what you were going to say.
Oh, I forget now. I was trying to get back on where we were going, I guess, on
It-
my pro
so-
teams and
No, that you're
But-
good. The question I'd
Yeah.
have for you is, okay, they go to the Super Bowl because we're predicting it.
Uh-huh.
It seems like everybody in here has voted that one. They go to the Super Bowl. Where are you watching it at? And if they win it, where are you going to go and celebrate? Are you going to try to go to the parade?
probably not. See, I got my daughter now on the weekends, so it comes first priority. But I'll just watch it here with my sister because me and her are probably the same level Bengal fans. We've
No,
been
yeah,
there.
I know that, but
Um,
that was
yeah.
just. Would it ever cross your mind of taking her to the Bengals game or a Bengals parade?
Oh yeah, I will. I will eventually down the road. So I don't know, maybe this year if it happens.
There's a good chance.
the Eagles are 16-8 at home
It's pretty good.
in the playoffs.
On the playoffs, yeah.
In the
that's
playoffs
good.
specifically, they're 16-8 at home.
I was gonna say
But
it's definitely not in regular
what's funny
season.
though? What's the
No.
Until
Yeah,
Nick
they
Foles
lost
was
when
there
they
to
won
save
with
it.
Nick them, right?
Yeah.
They won
Yeah.
with big fucking fools.
Nick Foles and Doug Peterson.
Yep.
Peterson's down
Yep.
with
They've
Jacksonville.
been there 3
Yeah.
times. They've won once.
Yeah,
Make it to the Super Bowl back then?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I was in Philly when they won most recently.
Uh-oh.
Oh, camera just turned off.
Oh, I did?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking something up real quick.
Oh, okay, that works. I was about to say, damn, we just lost him.
I was in Philly when they won the Super Bowl most recent when they won the Super Bowl. That was nuts. That was
I
insane.
imagine so.
So, real quick before I forget, Donovan McNabb was there. Remember he threw up on the sidelines?
Yeah, that was
back in
that was back when they
2004?
had T.
They had T.O.
And that was Andy Reid was the coach, right?
Yeah, and he threw up on the sidelines, and then Donovan McNabb was getting called out by everyone saying you're a pussy, and then eventually down the road he's like, "Yeah, I was." Like,
That's so funny.
then they lost him back in 1980. I think it is with Dick Vermeil, right?
It's Vermeil, yeah.
Yep.
Well, Corey, we're going to stop with sports for a second because we all have a question
Yeah.
we need to ask you. We get
Yep.
this from every guest that comes on here. And this, I will say, we don't have a sponsor, but this one is definitely brought to you by Dude Wipes. Okay, I just want to share that
Nice.
with
I thought I
you.
was joking when I said that earlier.
This
I
is
have one. I have
100%.
one in my pocket.
You just carry a Dude Wipe in your pocket?
Oh, well, I went to this dance studio I delivered on my route, and I was back there peeing, and then I saw the dude wipe. I was like, I'll take this. I've never used it since.
Oh
It's been
my
like,
God!
Wait,
it's
You
been like,
stole a Dude Wipe?
yeah,
Wait,
it's in a
is
it's in
it-
one of those packages. You know what I mean? It's
Okay,
like,
I was gonna-
yeah, it's like a mobile dude wipe, but like it was like last week because I worked. I'm on vacation this week, but like, yeah, I was like, I'll just take this. Sometimes I use it here in my house, whatever.
So
That's
wait,
good. I'm glad. I thought you meant like you took a singular, like a dude wipe out of a container or something.
that's what I
You
thought
just
too
been
at
carrying
first.
that around in your pocket.
Like you're just carrying around a Dude Wipe for like
Right.
a hanky in case you need to sneeze or
That's
wipe your
right.
butt. God. All right, so with this question, because this is going to be
Yeah.
interesting too, because there's more to it. And like I said, we asked this to everybody. When you take a shit and you wipe, are you back to front or front to back?
I have no idea. I can't remember. I think back to front. Or no,
I think
back.
that's normal. Nobody in here does the.
No, that's everybody.
Whoever does back
Yeah.
to front is ridiculous. Like, why do you want to get debris on your
The balls.
Your
yeah
balls, dingleberries.
yeah, you want to get those on your bean bags or what?
Funny.
That was that's one of the questions we like to ask, and it's just see, there's a front to back there. That's good. We got a back to front from here, from Rojo to Tolo.
no.
That's unacceptable. Now
Can
the
I
other
just
thing,
say, anybody that wipes back to front is not a hairy person, and I'll leave it at that. Because if you are a hairy person and you wipe from back to front, you are dirty.
Or they
You were
wax.
dirty.
Maybe they're into wax.
Yeah, maybe they-
Brazilian wax.
Well,
Maybe-
then they're hairy.
right, but I'm just saying, like they could.
well,
be
they could
hairy,
still
just-
be hairy. It's
Yeah.
just you clean it up, you groom.
Yeah.
It's self grooming. You don't take care of yourself. You just let shit run wild,
You're
Dyer?
shaving your ass. You're shaving your asshole and your taint and all this stuff.
I mean, I want to be clean. Debris.
What, people that are clean aren't dirty? Or what?
Well, yeah, that's right.
People that are clean are.
People that aren't
People that are
clean
clean
are
are
dirty. You're right.
That's
No, you
fun.
can have some hair on you, man. It's okay.
I
to be
understand.
hairy. But
Yeah.
if you're hairy and you've got some fuzz going on down there, you can't be wiping from back to front.
Understandable. I'm not arguing with you there. I'm not a back to front, so we don't have to worry about it. The other thing is,
Yeah, I digress.
Corey, if you so have you ever used the Dude Wipe or wet
I have
wipes?
not yet.
You've never used
No.
wet wipes or anything when you take a shit?
Yeah, I've used a couple wet wipes.
So do you, let me ask you this, do you go wet wipe, or wait, do you go toilet paper, wet wipe, toilet paper, or do you just go toilet paper, wet wipe, and then just walk away? How do you,
toilet paper and wet wipe, and I'm good.
Thank you.
so
Yeah.
you're
I
okay
mean,
with being wet
It's
still?
not that wet. It's not.
Yeah,
that
it's
wet.
not that wet.
It's not.
It's
okay,
not.
okay,
It's
so
wet
this-
enough to
this-
be stuck on the underwear.
This man compared
I don't-
wet wipes
nah.
to a bidet level of wetness.
Right.
Wow, this
it-
person goes wet, dry, wet. That's a lot.
There's a lot.
I feel like dry, wet, dry is the way to go.
That's the way I go.
Like, You got to get the
Or just be a man and just wipe with one dude wipe and just walk out. Honestly, I just go with one wipe and I'm good. 'Cause if I wipe any more, I'll be itching.
What?
Hey, listen.
So you get everything on the first wipe?
Yeah.
No chance. There's got to
Joe.
be some shit that's still hanging out there.
Going for you?
No, you don't.
See?
No, you don't need to do that. But the thing that
For
drives me
science.
insane is there's no way in hell. So if you wipe and there's nothing there, you're the guy that's never going to go back. You're okay with the ghost wipe.
Yeah.
See, I don't trust myself. But you're also the guy, though, that will sit here and wipe one time, and no matter how much debris is on that paper, you don't go back for a second. You're like, fuck it, I'm good.
Yep. I'm a blue collar job, dog. No one ain't sniffing my butthole while I'm out on the job. So
Well, actually, no, that makes sense though, Derek. He don't got time to do multiple wipes.
yep.
He's got stuff
True.
he's got to hit. He's got
Yep.
he's got quotas.
I'm not trying to have a
True.
rash or anything on my butt. Like you,
Well, I've had rashes from wiping more than once. you know what I mean? Like
It's
I
not
just
from
figured my
wiping
body
more
out,
than
so my body
no.
is.
No, there's no way it's from wiping once, or more than once. You're getting the rash because you wiped one time and you didn't get everything and it stayed there, and then you sat and moved side to side while you're driving, then you're walking or running to deliver the package, so you're constantly just smearing shit on your cheeks. Like, come on.
It's just weird.
That's a good thing about UPS uniforms. It doesn't show skid marks.
That's right.
Hey, but listen,
It's like
Now,
a
if
mouse on
you're
a
when you're
Harley.
sitting on the John and the toilet paper is gone, be a man.
Use your
Use
hand.
your hand.
I've heard that before. I've heard
Or get
that.
a, or get a bidet.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Here's another
Got it.
question for you though. This
Mhm.
is we're off poop now. We're gonna go to food. So on Thanksgiving or Christmas, one of the items that can be
I know
brought
where
to a
I know where it's
festivity, and Corey, I know this. I can already feel how Corey's going to answer this, so that's why I'm excited for this. When you, and I'm trying to think, charcuterie board
Or cheese plate.
or a cheese
both.
plate or both, as something you would bring for a Thanksgiving dinner, or I should say Thanksgiving or Christmas.
New Year's.
Is a lot of different
Wow.
things, really,
Like
but
cold
it's
meats.
yeah,
Cold
it's
meats. I can-
If I'm rich, I'm bringing a meat plate.
wait, no, you don't even have to bring it. It's just
Yeah.
is that something that's in the Corey type of thing to bring to somebody's house for Thanksgiving or Christmas? If you were bringing an item, what would you bring? Because I'm
Yeah,
sure
bring-
it's not a charcuterie board
Or
or a
bring
cheese plate.
veggies with the veggie dip. Yeah.
Classic.
Okay, that could work.
That's classic. We didn't even think of that actually.
It didn't come up.
Veggie platter. No, that didn't come
Yep.
up.
Those are
Relish
good.
tray, if you will.
Well, the only
Yeah.
reason why
No
it's
relish on it though, Kyle. No relish at all.
no the reason why it's brought up is because that was Dyer's choice of something that needs to be brought for Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Like a third round pick too.
Oh,
Do you feel like that is a
I like
necessity?
the deviled eggs too.
Well, of
Man,
course you
those
do.
are
It makes
good.
your ass stink.
Yeah,
The farts are
Deviled
the
eggs are
worst after
great.
this.
I'm with you on deviled eggs.
But do you?
Follow up question though. Follow up question though.
Yep.
Your opinion on almond joys?
Oh, that was where I was going to go next.
Almond joys.
Candy.
Like what is that?
It's
It's
Is
the,
like the actual candling?
that
like,
answer right
it's
there already
got
tells me he's
chocolate.
out on it.
It's the
It's a
coconut,
coconut
shredded
chocolate.
coconut covered in chocolate
Yeah.
with an almond on top of it.
It's gross.
Yeah, I like them.
Oh, you get the hell out of
Yes!
here. You don't like them.
Let me follow up. Let me
I
follow
like
up.
'em.
Let me follow
No.
up. Let me follow up. You're
Yeah.
Shut up,
trick-or-treating on
Dyer.
Halloween, and you have the choice of anything in the bowl. Are you picking them?
Probably not.
We're talking.
but I-
There we
Okay,
go.
that's what I was
There we
trying to
go.
get to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Snickers.
well,
You have
okay,
Snickers,
hold on
Kit
a
Kat,
second, that's-
all that.
That's leading. Objection! Objection, Your Honor. Leading. Listen.
You may speak.
Of course, most people aren't choosing the Almond Joy if they have every other option of candy that's there. Most
Which-
people aren't. Maybe I would because I love Almond Joys. But if you get the Almond Joy, are you saying that that's the worst thing in the world?
Yes.
All I'm
No.
saying, Dyer. All I'm saying.
See?
How high up did he draft almond joys, Derek? Do you
It was
remember?
it was like the second pick.
So we did a fantasy candy draft 2 years ago where we drafted all of our Halloween candies that we would pick.
Look,
In
Corey's
order-
not even eating an almond joy right now. He's eating something else. That tells you how much it is. He's
Candy
eating a candy cane.
Candy cane.
Okay.
Yep.
So and this candy draft board we had probably had, what do you think, Derek? Probably close to 200 choices on it.
There's a lot of choices. I would say,
And-
yeah. It's I would say there's probably 100. 200's a lot, but I mean,
Well,
we
I
did
had
have a lot.
I had a lot in the miss, yeah. And of all the things for you to take in your second pick, second or third round
That-
pick,
That doesn't surprise me with Dyer. I've known Dyer that long.
Dyer eats the shittiest of candies.
I think Derek said that Dyer went out and drafted a kicker third round.
Yeah, that would be the equivalent. Picking the almond
that's-
joys is equivalent to picking a kicker overall in a fantasy football draft second round.
Well,
Don't
the
get me
Bengals
wrong.
have some experience with that.
Yes, they drafted Jake Elliott, I think, in like the fourth
Wasn't
round.
it-
You're talking
And
about the
then
NFL
Evan
draft.
McPherson.
Hold on, you're talking about the NFL draft. Okay, those are
they
true. You can't compare that
twice.
because that's a true necessity. That was something
We're
that
talking
those
about, like,
teams
fantasy
really
draft.
wanted.
Okay.
Fantasy drafts.
We're talking fantasy.
Okay.
Corey, if you do,
Yeah.
let's go to that. You do a fantasy draft. We didn't lose him,
Yeah.
did we? Okay.
No,
No,
just
no,
can't
no.
work enough.
We do a
No.
fantasy draft. You
Yep.
go and make a pick. You're not picking your
Yeah.
kicker until what round?
No, hey, Kyle, the Jets drafted
He went and looked it up. God
You're
dang
right.
it.
You're right.
second
You're right.
round.
That's
That's
okay.
wild.
But that's
I
beside
digress. That's what I was talking about. You're
but
right.
that's
I digress.
that's beside the point. The point is in fantasy football, Corey, when do you
Yeah.
pick your kicker ideally?
almost last pick.
Wow. Okay. So Almond Joys is that, and Dyer picked them in the second fucking round. That's where I'm trying to get with it.
Kick. That'd be like me picking Butterfingers. I love Butterfingers.
I picked Butterfingers. That was my second
Yeah.
pick. My first pick was
They
the
stick to
Snickers.
your teeth. They
They
stick
do.
to your teeth, and they're hard to eat. I don't like
Kyle,
it.
You're a weird
Tastes
dude.
good.
How does that stick to your teeth? You just
How
eat
does it stick to your
swallow
teeth?
it.
How does it not stick to your teeth? They stick to your teeth.
It doesn't with me.
Fuck.
It's
Maybe I got sticky teeth.
Listen,
it's just trash candy.
Oh, it's good.
I-
I'd rather just
It's
buy a bag
coconut
of
and
that
it's chocolate. It's
and
three
take it.
things that are good for you. Actually, it's the most nutritious candy that there is.
who gets candy and goes, I need to think about the nutrition? It's Halloween.
People that are health conscious. People
Then
that are
you're
like,
not
you know
going
what, this
trick-or-treating.
candy's delicious. It's a sweet candy. It's fantastic. It's something that's also not horrible for me, like some of the other garbage out there.
Can we
It's
just
got a nut on it, which is actually healthy.
can we just get Dyer Werther's and call it a day?
I like Werther's.
I know you do.
And
Furthermore-
butterscotch, the nondescript butterscotch, and the grandma candy that has the wrapper that looks like a strawberry.
Those are
Yeah,
No
amazing.
one knows where it's
Yeah,
from.
Those are
all
amazing.
those.
Those are hidden candies. You can't find them.
No, you can't. They just have them. I
It's
feel
just like once you turn like a certain year, they mail them to you every year.
No, you know what happens is when you get your AARP card, you get access to a special store that no one knows about.
That's it.
But you have to have an AARP card to get it.
Corey, what are you
It's
watching?
not too late.
I was watching Saved by the Bell.
Are we
Fifth
classics?
season. Yeah, fifth season.
College years?
No, that's the sixth season. Fifth
Oh.
season's like all the good, real good episodes. Well, I think at least.
What's your favorite show?
I got a bunch. Sons of Anarchy. I like that a lot. I like Breaking Bad. Doctor House. I don't know if you guys ever watched that. That's real good. He's
Hell yeah.
he's an sarcastic, smart dude.
I like that.
This is probably my top 4 shows. I think I said.
What was the other draft that we had?
The holiday
The-
draft.
Yeah, but Dyer did something too that
we
was.
didn't do anything else on the holiday draft.
Yeah, but we
Um,
questioned
do
one of
more
his
draft.
moves. I want
It
to
was
know.
the charcuterie
It was
board.
charcuterie,
It was
yeah.
that. That was it.
Charcuterie and cheese plate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Because all the other picks that we had in the fantasy draft for the holiday. By the way, if you guys haven't heard either of those 2 episodes, go back and take a listen to them. They are named Fantasy Holiday Draft and Fantasy Candy Draft. But if I think what we established with the holiday draft was that it was way more even, whereas the candy draft was vicious.
Yeah,
Like-
that one was. We were going at each other.
The candy draft, there were some real hardcore like really moments in that. Whereas
Some
like,
hostility
Oh,
towards
yeah.
each other.
Oh yeah,
oh yeah.
it has to be that way though.
But we went into that with that thinking, oh, it's going to happen again with the fantasy holiday draft. But in reality, everyone agreed with everyone else's picks. It's just like, well, I like Thanksgiving or Christmas meal, and it's like, oh, this food fucking sucks.
That's true.
Like,
We need to do
I
like
drafted
snacks.
based on. I do generally a non-traditional holiday.
that's what we gave him shit for. Chili.
Chili.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I make
Chili.
chili every Christmas. Every Christmas, I make a pot of chili.
Do you guys have chili on Christmas, Corey?
No. Again, it's dire.
I know. I know.
You know what my Thanksgiving meal was? I made
Pennies?
steak.
My hog.
I mean, no.
Sorry, I had a CBJ jersey made on the back. It said "Dis Hog."
Yeah, they would. They wouldn't make it.
No, they did. They made the Dis Hog.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, the hog was spelled.
Oh, that's right. You wanted
No,
Dis Dick.
It was Dis D.
Yeah,
Dis
Dis
D.
D. You
It's
wanted
Dis
Dis
D,
Dick,
yeah.
but you couldn't get it on there. Which I do
Yeah.
want to share this because this is funny. We go to a Blue Jackets game. It's kind of like tradition. Every time I come home, we go to like a game of some sort.
I already know what you're gonna say.
No, I'm not doing the other one where it was just me, Jape, and Dyer sitting there, and you walked up. No, this is a different one. Because that one I can't share for obvious reasons.
With
But
the paper airplane.
yes.
Oh,
So we get tickets, and I have it to where we're sitting kind of like in the corner of the arena. So we're kind of up just a little bit, but it's enough where you can see everything. It's perfect. We're sitting there, and the national anthem's about to go up, so we all stand up, and nobody knows what Corey's doing at the time. Like, we can't figure it out. And then out of nowhere, you hear the national anthem. We're all facing towards the flag, and Corey is behind all of us. And then all of a sudden, you just see an arm come through, and it's like just a throwing action. And we're like, what the hell? And you just look, and all of a sudden, as the national anthem is being played, a paper airplane is now soaring through the stadium, the arena, because this jackass decided to just launch out this paper airplane as we're going. And then he goes, "Hey, Dyer, look, I threw a paper airplane." We're like, what the hell? Are you kidding me? There's a
I
lot
thought you
of
were gonna
good.
tell him the story.
No,
about-
we're not sharing.
No, listen, no. When we were playing, I think Montreal, I was like telling him to go back to Ottawa.
Oh yeah, you were screaming at them for that too. You get a lot of exciting things with Corey. We had one Corey, Jape, Dyer came and saw me in Chicago, and they were staying at the W Hotel right next door. And Corey brought up this like 12-gallon thing of Swedish fish. And I just remember sitting there and we're all talking to him and having a good time, having a few drinks. And then all of a sudden, Corey decides to up and leave out of nowhere because he wanted to go back home, or he's getting ready to go back home. And he takes his fucking Swedish fish that everybody wanted. I don't know where I was going with this story, but that part was just like so funny because he just randomly disappeared. And he was back at the
I was like, I'm
hotel
out.
with his Swedish fish, and nobody knew he was gone. He just grabbed him and left. Now,
We're so mad.
Screw you
Swedish
guys.
fish weren't there anymore.
now this
That's-
one,
Yeah, it's funny.
this story I have to share more than anything because we've actually talked about this on the podcast. The Bengals were playing against the Browns at the Dog Pound. I made sure we got
Yep.
tickets so we could all go together. We go, we're all getting pretty fucked up, having a good time, like drinking, enjoying ourselves. And that was actually the night before. Sorry, it was the night before. We're all drinking, having a good time. I made a call. I said, "Hey,
Corey
we're-
wasn't though. Corey.
Corey,
This
yeah,
was
Corey.
after
This is sober Corey. This isn't
Sober, yeah.
This isn't drinking Corey.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so we made the call. I said, "Hey, we're gonna get up for breakfast," which I'm gonna dive into that story too because there's another thing that happened at breakfast that was absolutely hilarious. We get into the room. Dyer and I are sharing a room. Jape and Corey are sharing a room. We pass out, wake up in the middle of the morning, and get ready to go down for breakfast. Well, Jape comes out and tells us that, in the middle of the night, he had to get up to go pee. So he went and used the bathroom, and, he was quiet. He was discreet about it. Corey had to get up and go pee in the middle of the night, too. But this was before Jape went. So Corey gets up and goes and pees. Now, when he goes into the bathroom, he
I was
decides...
trying to be nice.
He-
trying to be nice.
he's trying to be nice, but the door shuts and then you're fine. Well, Corey decides, fuck it, why not? Just lifts the toilet seat, keeps the lights off, and just pisses. Has no idea where the toilet is. Doesn't matter. Just pees everywhere, all over the floor, everything. Now, fast forward back to Jape. Jape got up to go pee, walked into the bathroom, went to go pee, and noticed that it was wet. So he thought maybe something had spilled, the water was left on, whatever. Didn't think anything of it. Went right back to bed. Got up the next morning. He goes in there, had to pee again. And when he walked in, he noticed it was still wet. And he stepped in it and he saw that it was not water. It was piss. So Corey's reason for doing this was, well, I didn't want to turn the light on because I knew it would wake you up. So I was trying to be as quiet and discreet as I possibly can. But instead, he peed all over the floor, and Jape had to stand in it and walk in it.
To be fair, I got
Oh.
half in the toilet and half not.
To be
I
fair,
couldn't find it. I couldn't hear the splash. Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh.
all he could hear was the splash of the ground. But hey, that's how
Yep.
that went. So then on top of that, we get done. We're having a great laughing. And this guy's standing to the left of us, but he's out, towards, or no, actually, sorry, we're in line for the buffet, going to grab the food, and out of nowhere, this lady comes walking,
I remember.
and she's literally, I don't know what she was saying. She said something, and then she just trips, and you can see it happen in slow motion. And for those that know, Dyer has one of the most obnoxious, loud, hilarious laughs. Like if you're not finding something funny, as soon as he laughs, it'll be funny to you no matter what. Lady goes down. She's falling in slow motion. All you hear is, oh, oh, oh. And then all of a sudden, the phone that she had in her hand goes flying 50 yards away from her, hits the ground, and just turns around and goes, what happened? After she just tripped and then fell flat on her face onto the ground. Now, granted, yes, we made sure she was okay. I want to make sure people realize that. But it was one of the funniest things.
Uh-oh. I lost him.
No!
What
We
happened?
lost.
Worst time for this to happen.
When he comes back, we're just gonna go with that. He said the rest of the story.
Oh, what the hell?
Yep.
It says that it's
You know what's
playing.
funny? The face that's frozen on my screen is pretty funny what his face looks
He's
like.
got he's going like this for me.
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
Yeah,
I'll take
yeah.
a
Am I not
screenshot.
back yet? Why is it doing this?
That is what is happening right now. He's.
What the hell?
This is why we have an editor, because he's able to go in and cut all this out for us.
Nice.
Makes life so much easier. This is great. Do you think he knows that he's
Nope. Am I still frozen?
shoot him a text?
No, I know. I saw that.
He's probably still talking.
Oh, he's still going.
Man,
He-
I
And you
thought
know
this
he-
was such a funny story.
Am I
Oh,
not
no,
back
he's
yet?
Back. No, you're back. You're good.
Now
now.
you're back.
I stopped right away.
Yeah,
Because I saw you guys instantly free. Corey froze. Is Corey still there? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
There
as
he
I was saying, which now it's not as funny because I could hear you guys laughing at me saying all this. I heard Dyer say, "Well, this is the freaking best part of the story," and he's, damn it. Well, anyways, the lady, fell down, threw her phone, and she was trying to figure out what happened. And the guy literally just looked at her. He was like, "Well, you just tripped and fell." And Dyer, the hardest part was for you to keep quiet. You were trying so hard not to laugh, and then you finally walked away, and then you started laughing. That was one of the funniest things I've seen. And I hate it. Like, I know people are like, don't be an ass. Like, they tripped and they fell. I'm sorry. Watching people fall in slow motion and doing that, it is funny. Yes, we made sure they're okay, but that shit was hilarious. I don't care who you are. Anybody in their right mind would have been laughing at that. But it sucks because I got cut
remember-
out.
I remember seeing this happen and having to immediately avert my eyes because I could feel this laugh bubbling in my belly. And just like looking at Derek with my eyes wide and that quintessential trying not to laugh face, like eyes wide open, like kind of like lips pursed and frowning down, trying to hold my face together so the laugh didn't come out. And then Derek going just stifling that laugh just enough to where nobody else really knew, but I knew.
But
and
we
that
knew.
made it all that much more difficult for me to hold the laugh in.
Man, that was so much fun.
Just imagine, just like, how does that even happen? Like-
in all
like how-
honesty,
like-
I have no idea how she
Did a
even
ghost?
tripped.
Did she get haunted? Like, did someone just like?
That's
get
what
sniped?
that's seriously what it looked like. Like it was like something out of a movie. Like I've never seen anything it was literally slow. Like the ghost was guiding her down. Like, here, I got you. We're going down. We're gonna get this. All right, now let's just throw your
And
phone
cut.
for cinematic cut.
We
But
gotta do it
was
again.
this-
I need more energy.
It
It was the smoothest tile floor that you could imagine, and it looked like she tripped over a fishing line. That's what it looked like. Because we all watched it happen. We watched her walk by and stumble and trip and fall flat on her face, and the phone went skittering across the floor. It made a bunch of noise. It's the best part. There was like 30 people standing in line for this buffet, and it happened right in front of everybody.
Her phone looked like a hockey puck on the ice, just sliding. That's the best way to put it. Like, it just took off.
Well, I think I think everyone's fallen in slow motion before, but I think she
Oh,
actually
shit, yeah.
fell in slow motion.
It literally it was like, just go down already. Like, that's what it looked like.
And then she looks up immediately and says, "What happened?"
What happened? God, that was too funny.
You guys were all being filmed for like a prank TV show. You just didn't know it. They just never said anything.
I mean, we all passed the test. We didn't laugh like in her face. We waited until she got up, and, like, was moving, and then we just lost it.
You know those really
She left
shitty
behind her back.
It's like those really shitty YouTube videos people do where they're like, we're gonna have this dude, be really mean to someone else and just see what the public does. Like they were just like, we'll have this woman fall and let's just watch what happens. So let's see.
That's what it was. That was crazy. It was very funny, but yeah. Well, Corey, I want to dive into the obvious reasons of why we have you here. Are you about to put your headphones back in?
Yeah.
All right. So for those that don't know, while he's doing that, I just want to share this. Corey is obviously one of our best friends from back home, me and Dyer. He's gone through a lot, and I'm going to let him share, his whole story and what he's been experiencing, and just give him the time to just share this story with you guys, because there's a lot of people that are out there that are dealing with these kind of things, and this is a very important thing to not only myself and Dyer and Terps, but it's important to help those that are going through these kind of times. And, like I said, Corey has gone through so much, and he's dealt with a lot, and he's also overcome so much. And to where he is now, 2 years and 4 months of being sober says a lot about him and how strong he has become from this situation and from what he's dealt with. So I want you guys to just listen to what he has to say and hear his story, because this is real. This isn't any jokes. This isn't fake. This is authentic, and this is coming from somebody who wants to make an impact and help other people's lives that have dealt with maybe these issues, or maybe is going through this kind of stuff now. And if you ever feel alone, Corey's going to tell you how to handle all this stuff and what he's done to make himself better, because a lot of us never know. I can honestly say that me and Dyer, we didn't know. We had no clue of what was going on, and for him to, do what he's done for the time being for 2 years and 4 months to clean it all up and make himself sober, and then sharing this story with us, this is a huge step, and this is huge for him. So I want to pass this mic to Corey and let him share his story of what he's dealt with and what he continues to improve on every single day and helping people every single day. So Corey, the stage is yours, buddy.
Thanks, Derek. So I'll begin by my sobriety date is October 27th of 2020, in the middle of the pandemic. So when you tell these stories, you tell what it's like before, what it's like when you're using, what it's like after. So with me, I was born 1985, June 6, 1985 in Newark, Ohio. Real nice family. Mom, dad, great people. They stayed together all their lives. I have a sister. She is 42. Yeah, 42. And I live with her now. So I'll get to why that's happening right now here eventually down the road. Well, that's what I'm saying. So I play a lot of sports. I was that kid that growing up, I was that dare kid. I bought into the dare. I don't know if you know what dare is, but it's try to keep you off drugs. We had Officer Dale. He was a good dude. Like, I was just like, there's no reason for anyone to use any drugs. You can stay sober all the time. So I get through high school. My first drink, though, it got me in trouble. I got suspended from the football team, and that was just a bonehead, stupid move by me. That was my first drink, and I took only a sip, but I admitted to it out of guilty conscience and told the coach and missed 2 games. Anyways, played sports all my life, all through high school. Got scholarships to play basketball, baseball, and football. Chose Heidelberg to play 1 year of football up there. So that brings us to when I was up there in college is when I started seeing things differently and started, I don't know how to explain it. Like my mind started questioning a lot of things I didn't really understand. And I think it's normal for everybody. But anyways, I was thinking all natural, no one used steroids, anything like that. Well, come to find out, on our football team at Heidelberg, there was quite a bit of people using steroids, and they're pretty strong. And I was just like, how are these guys, that strong, but we suck at football. Well, they were using needles, and that got my mind thinking about, putting stuff in my body actually works, and my dare thinking that left me. It was the middle of high school, but I still stuck with that, for a while. And so, anyways, I finished my first year of college at Heidelberg. I was drinking in college at Heidelberg, but not much. Like I've never really had a drinking problem. Although I haven't had a drink in 2 years and about 4 months. That goes along with what's going on with me. But anyways, that brings us to when I came back from Heidelberg. I decided not to go back because I don't want to be put in massive college student loan debt. That was a smart move. So I finished out at Ohio State in Newark, and the Ohio State main campus, and so that I did 1 or 2 years at the Newark campus at Ohio State, and that brings us to the night that changed my life a lot. So I was moving over to McMillan from this new house on Ohio State campus, and it was like a Saturday night, and for some reason I was coming back late. It was probably 11 from Newark to Columbus, and I was sitting at a stoplight of 4th Street and East Fifth Avenue, just sitting there. And I get blasted from behind. I was wearing my seatbelt, saved my life. This dude hit me so hard, totaled my Civic. His front license plate was embedded in the back of my Civic and everything. I was all right, though. The guy fled the scene. It was a hit and run. What's funny is this guy didn't have insurance, but the next day he did have insurance. I mean, that's nothing really part of my story. That's pretty funny, Didn't have insurance, but now he does. But anyways, my sister talked me, mom and dad talked me into going to Ohio State Maine Medical and just get checked out, make everything was all right. So I go there, and I'm in the back. They did an X-ray, everything was fine, and the guy gave me Vicodin, provided me Vicodin. I was thinking, what is this? So I told my sister, I was like, hey, you give me Vicodin. She's like, oh, really? I'm just like, yeah. I think it helps the pain. Okay. So I think it gave me total 12 pills, but I started that was my first taste of being a pillhead. I turned into a pillhead basically with what's going on with this, mostly with this story. But I had my taste of Vicodin, and I liked it. You can just imagine. So, I finished out that bottle, but I didn't really start, digging out to find more Vicodin or pills. But that was when I was this happened when I was 22 or 23, around that age. And, I'd say about 6 years later, I tried to reach out and get Vicodin. And I started getting Vicodin from this source. I'll keep my sources and the people in my story, their names and everything. But
Yeah, I would keep it that way.
yeah. So, anyways, this person started shipping me Vicodin by however many pills I wanted in the mail, and I didn't think that was ever possible. But yeah, you can get like 500 me these pills, and yeah, so I started getting those, and that's when I became fully addicted to Vicodin, and so that basically brings me to I was doing Vicodin a lot, but then like one buddy wanted to go to Cancun, and I was like, okay, sure. I took my Vicodin with me, went down there, and that was the first time I did cocaine. And guess what? I like that too. So, um, did that. I think it was like about a year later. We went back down there, and we got more cocaine. Um, after the first time I went down there, months later, I started getting that almost on a regular basis. And this is when I was fully in my disease of being an addict. Um, yes, I'm definitely an addict and alcoholic. And so that brings us to when I started, I was doing Vicodin and um, doing cocaine, and then I started mixing them. That's very dangerous. I started doing that. I started to reach out with more strength of opiates. So I started getting Perk 30s, and I got it from this guy from work through his brother, and yeah, so I started buying Perk 30s, and that's when I really started getting in trouble and noticed I was addicted. Did one a minute. I hit it pretty well. Derek and Kyle really had no idea what was going on with me. A lot of everyone around me had no idea what was going on with me. So that brings us to I was doing cocaine a lot, but I was able to function with my job. Not as many. I was switched from cocaine to opiates, cocaine to Perk 30, like on and off. And I did that for a while, and that's when it brings us to when I met my daughter's mother. I'd known her for like 4 or 5 years, and messed around, and I got her pregnant, and 9 months later, Harper was born. Um, what's crazy is I was doing Perk 30s and cocaine all this time when Lindsay was pregnant with Harper, and she had no idea. And I'm not trying to point fingers or anything, but he had a little bit to do with why I was still reaching out and you know just wanted to get away from everything. I had this new buddy of mine. It was drugs, it was pills, it was cocaine, and so I had my daughter. That was June 24th of 2020. She was born. Me and Lindsay moved into a new apartment. I was fully addicted, deep, of getting pills all the time. I was to the point where I was, I'd snort Perk 30s, and then I'd start to have withdrawals. I'd be like shaking and sweating, and the only reason to cure that is either I go through withdrawal, which is very, very awful and painful, or I keep getting drugs. So kept reaching out and getting them, and that brings us to like around September, like a few months later after Harper was born, and I started. I got some pills from my drug dealer, and I sold a couple at apartment, and woke up next morning, and I literally could not move my left whole side. It was a stroke, so I think it was just the drugs, but I hid that. I told them that, no, I don't know how this happened. The MRI came back not conclusive enough that it was a stroke, but I'm pretty sure I had a stroke from I had probably fentanyl in there, fentanyl and these pills, and so that happened. They gave me this drug called ATP, and started getting my feelings back in my whole left side. And I left the hospital. 2 days later, reach out to my drug dealer and get more pills. That night, I blocked out. But this time, the first time, Lindsay didn't know. I had that pretty well. Like, I didn't leave any pills out, but I did a couple pills and snorted them and blacked out. And Lindsay comes in. She finds me on the floor, and she calls 911, and the paramedics come and get me. That was pretty crazy. Pretty embarrassed too when that happened. And when that happened, got out and come back to the apartment, and Lindsay's like, "I want you gone." I'm thinking, I guess I deserve this. So, moved back in with my parents. That was the second time I had a blackout / overdose. And then that brings us to my third overdose. And that was in Newark, Ohio. I went and got more pills. Still didn't get it. This is probably like mid-October. And I this time I got a drug deal. I sorted them from his house and literally drove around Columbus, blacked out at the wheel for a good while. And I remember like bits and pieces of this night. Like I got full conscious in this parking lot, this church parking lot. And first thing I'm thinking is like, I got more pills, snort another one. So I snorted it. And next thing you know, I remember bits and pieces of coming in out of the blackout, and I hit a parked car and totaled the car. Cops came. I was really nice with them. So I think that kind of changed their mood. They were real nice with me. They talked me into getting into an ambulance, got in the ambulance, go to the hospital. And the cop was there waiting for me. And that night I got an OVI with 2 felonies attached to that. M5s, like the lowest of the felonies, but they're drug felonies anyways. So I had to do drug court for Columbus. That, I'll tell you what, me doing that just proves I can do anything when I'm sober and I stay off of that shit. Like, drug court's really, really hard to get through, especially for, people that are addicted and addicts. Did a year and a half. Well, hold on, I'll bring you back to that night. So after I got those 2 felonies and the OVI, I'm thinking, I need to clear my act, a little bit for a while. But I still had like a few other pills in my wallet. Get back to Newark and snort the rest of them, black out. My dad does CPR on me in my front living room, and he saved my life. And went in there, and I was pretty embarrassed, and that took me pretty good thinking about that. I wouldn't be here today for my dad, but so then next couple of days, my dad, everyone started talking to me. You need to go to rehab. You got a problem, and I called Shepherd Hill rehab, and I started buying into it. I got off. I had withdrawal from the pills, and I was like, all right, it's either I change or I'm not going to be in my daughter's life. And that's the main reason why I really, really wanted to get sober. And so I got in Shepherd Hill. I got into drug court for Columbus. I had to do 2 years of drug court in Columbus. I had to call this hotline every morning check if I had to be drug tested. When you first get in phase 1, they drug test you like 3 times or 4 times a week. So I had to drive there and go to work. I did. That was really tough. And so that brings us to kind of funny part of my story. So when we graduated, they had this award called the Phoenix Award. And I call it the Best Felon Award. Literally, I was the best felon. I did everything they told me to do, and they gave me an award for it. I mean, it's pretty cool, but it's pretty funny, I think, thinking of it that way, But I stay in touch with my judge a lot. She was very proud of me. Like, I every time, like, I did everything they asked me to a T. Like, there was a couple of days I missed a call, but I would let them know, like, I missed a call, and they were cool about it. And I graduated drug court, let's say, a year and a half after my sobriety date, which is October 27th of 2020. And I stayed sober ever since. And I thank God every day for where I'm at, what I've been through, and all my friends and family are here for me. And that's my story. I am Corey. I'm an addict and alcoholic, and I pass.
Well, it takes a lot to do what you just said, to be able to share that with people that are, dealing with these same things. What is something that stood out to you that really helped, that changed your ways, that made it to where you knew, I can get over this. I cannot, I'm not going to let this happen. I'm not going to go down that path again. Because I know there's probably somebody, they might not be in this chat right now, or, they help with people. What would be something that really stood out to you that this was it? This helped a lot.
Honestly, with that question, I don't really like talking about this, but I mean, I'm in a book now, but like God helped me. God just literally was like, you need to get your shit straight. You need to stay sober for your daughter. And so I mean, I had a bunch of motivators to keep me on the straight path. That was pretty fucked up, but yeah, it's crazy. Like, God basically led me mostly down this path.
So do you think big time then that having Harper was the big influence of, this is what's keeping me going. This is my baby. I want to be here for her. I want to see her grow up. That was the motivation behind everything.
Yep. Like today, I got her to eat a Lunchable. That was amazing. She never eaten a full Lunchable with me ever. Today, I got to see that shit.
Which one did she go for?
She had the ham, cheese, and crackers. Okay. And I ate all the crackers, but she smashed the ham. And then she ate some string cheese. Yeah. And she's been like really tough to feed, but today she was like all about it. Like, there you go, Daddy. I'm going to eat this. You eat that. And I was like, cool.
Awesome. Crush some Lunchables.
The other thing, I want to throw this out there too, because I know, obviously talking about God is one of those things you have to be careful about or whatever. But first of all, you have a lot of love in this chat. In my chat right now, there's a lot of people saying that's awesome. You sharing this and helping. You're helping others keep fighting, stay strong. You got a lot of love. The one thing too I want to point out is, and I'm curious because that's why I'm asking. So you had your daughter, and I'm trying to get this right. I know we're best friends and I should know this, but I want to put this out there for them to hear more than myself. Yeah. Before you had your daughter, that's when you were starting to go down that path, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So do you feel that Lindsay coming into your life was the blessing that got you right? Now, granted, yes, I know things have happened. That's none of our business. We don't need to dive into that. But do you feel like that was the blessing that got things going? Because, like you said, you had a daughter with her, and then here it is. This is your blessing.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I never really thought of that way, but
well, the reason why I say that is, and I'm going to let you, I want you to keep going with this, is, when I started my foundation, I was working with Briggs, and just to give comparison, because I've felt this myself, this is why I truly know that God is real, is when I held Briggs's hands before he was supposed to pass away the first time, I could feel it. because there was he never opened his eyes. He wasn't breathing very well or any of that. And he squeezed me and Ben Rogers' hand, and you could see him looking at us. You could see his eyes glancing at us. And that's when, to me, I felt that God was there with him and showing him that there's a lot of people here that believe. We need you to believe, and we want you to know that God is real. That, to me, is the comparison that I feel from what you're saying by listening with Harper.
Oh yeah. This is odd. I don't think I've told very many people, but about this. That night when I hit that parked car, I felt I knew I was in trouble. I had to do something. I need to get my head pulled out of my ass and help me. And that night I had a parked car, and there's 2 felonies in that OVI. Did it, and in my court case though, which is good, I graduated drug court. I didn't have an OVI. I got that down to reckless op, and the 2 felonies will come off a record here in May.
That's
So
awesome.
That's really good, too.
yeah. But yeah, I'm an open book, man. If you guys, I can put my phone number in the chat.
No,
Anyone
don't
can text me anytime.
I don't know if that's a good idea. I would say you have social media. We'll put that
We'll
out
link the
there
socials, yeah.
so everybody can get in touch. But
anybody.
Sorry, I'm trying to get this out. There's more like it's people are hearing your story, and I know you gave some advice on it on how to bounce back, but was there a certain group of people besides your daughter that you reached out to, talked to, help you in these times? Like, obviously when you were at rehab, can you give some kind of encouragement to show people that it's okay to go these things? I know a lot of people probably look at it and be like, I'm stronger than this, I don't need to go. And I'm sure you felt that way too when you were about to do it. Like, I don't need to do this. Do you what is something there that helped with that?
So when I decided to get sober, I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do everything you tell me. And I started going to meetings. I forgot to mention that. I would do a meeting. I did 30 days in a row, a meeting every day. And got a new network of people, new network of friends, and sobriety. And I still talk to a bunch of them this day. Like the meetings I had to do also for that was Shepherd Hill and the drug court. I did plenty of meetings when they asked me. That helped me, and like just meeting new friends that were in the same struggle as me. You know what I mean? Because I thought I was the only person out there. No, there's absolutely people out there that know what you're going through, and they want to help you. I mean, I definitely want to help whoever I can now.
That's what people were asking too. And here, this is from Subtape. He says, do you ever go to support groups? Do you still go? These are, people are curious about that, how we can kind of help out with that.
Yeah. There are AA meetings, Alcoholics Anonymous, and NA, which is Narcotics Anonymous. Honestly, I went to AA, and that's where I found my solid group of people. And I mean, there's a bunch of drug users in there too. Don't get me wrong, but you know what I mean. Like Narcotics Anonymous, I probably should have went to, but not necessarily. I've talked to a lot of people about that, and they said, no, if you just go to AA, you'll be fine. If you have a drug problem, that's fine. If you want to go to NA, that's cool too. So you got your choices there. There's a lot of support groups. You can go to church too. Church definitely will help you. That's for sure.
We've talked about this. We've talked about this in the past in this podcast a lot, and I think that there's stigmas around the world, how people view things, how people feel, especially with guys. We need to be tough. We need to do this. We can't do that. You have to be manly. And I think one thing that your story really brings out is that you got to do what you got to do to get right. And it takes a lot of effort to sit down and tell yourself, I have to do this. And a lot of people, will try to find excuses or whatever. And I think for you, it was, like you said it the best. It was your daughter. It was, it's not a I need, it's not a I want to. That's become I need to. And then the need will become the want. Once you kind of see where your life goes from there and how things transition from there, and I think that one of the most common ailments in the United States.
Yeah.
It is
Fit-
over 20%.
Fentanyl's,
Yes.
yeah, fentanyl is killing a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's a stronger card. Like the one drug test came back, I was snorting meth. So yeah,
Yeah.
they were. But I was addicted, you
Yeah.
know, and
I
yes, I
think-
mean that the fentanyl is killing a lot of people, like 250,000 people a year. Just fentanyl.
drugs in the past year.
Yep.
Of that 20%, statistics show 12% could be classified as addicted. But
Yeah,
of that 12%, very few of them ever actually do anything just due to stigma. Did you see a lot of that? Did you help people kind of, how many people out there are going, obviously you say you did it yourself, but in those meetings, how good did they do at weeding out and helping people get over that? Like, it's not, you're not being a pussy by doing this. You're not being,
yeah. There was one guy he was my best friend through treatment, and but he, like, I think we both motivated each other. He definitely motivated me to stay sober, you know what I mean, and you finish, and it's called coin out at Shepherd Hill. That means where you basically you're done. You graduate from Shepherd Hill, the treatment center, and we stayed sober a full year. There was a 5 or 6 other of us in there also. Not sure what happened. We tried to stay in touch, but things just happened. But with all that happened between me and him, like, I tried to be there for him, but he relapsed. He started using meth again, and a meth head's pretty different to a lot of other drug users, sadly. But yeah, he lost all his teeth. He pulled his teeth out. Like, that right there, there's something wrong with you, I don't know, but I mean, he definitely motivated me, and I always have a special place in my heart. He's alive, doing better. So I have a sponsor too. I forgot to mention that. My sponsor I can talk to anytime. He's a real nice guy. He went through the same thing I did. He tried to kill himself. Like, I just got new friends and stay with that, and just basically change. I had to relive how to relive again. I had to change how to do things all over again. That's how crazy, like, my mind was messed up, and it's all from the drugs.
how do you battle temptations? Because obviously that's one of the biggest things for a lot of people is what comes after the fact. Correct. It's getting the help is one thing, but then what's your best advice for people what's worked for you in terms of in terms of either avoiding or overcoming triggers?
Right. So with me, everyone's different in this area. So with me, I would get these real strong cravings, like when I first got sober, like 3 to 4 months, like, they got real strong. And when I did, I'd use the tools they gave me what to do when I had that. Like, I contacted my sponsor. I called Sober Support. I'd tell someone, hey, I want to go out and get an 8-ball. You know what I mean? And they're like, that's good. You're telling me you want to do that, But it's, you know what I mean? It's like, don't do that. Just talk about it. And talking about it definitely helps so much. And yeah, it's basically what I did. Like, what I suggest with a lot of people when they're in trouble, like, you need to talk to someone to have you get talked out or talked into going to treatment. Treatment's where it all starts, and that's where you get sober, I think.
I want to throw this out there too. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, saying that. I mean, you can get sober, on your own, but that very rarely ever happens. I mean, there are, certain cases that do, but really, treatment's the best thing for you. They will help you, and they will stick by your side if you want to stay sober.
Just to add to what you were just saying there, one of the other guys that's always in my stream, Snag, said his brother is celebrating 12 years sober this year. It takes a lot of strength to overcome any sort of addiction. So congrats on the 2 years. Continue to go forward. The other thing I was going to ask too, out of curiosity, do you feel like playing, because I know we obviously played video games together. Do you feel like video games played a major role as well? There's no doubt. But do you, and this could be stupid, but do you feel even the temptations from the game could come to you? Because you obviously you can smoke, you can drink. I think that's all you
Right.
can do in that game. But does that
Yeah.
ever, and I mean, granted, this is probably a stupid thing saying this, but do you ever feel like that plays a part in could be triggering of that?
It could if I really think about it, but I've never really like seen a connection with that. Like video
Okay.
games
Game,
actually
dude.
take my
Right.
mind. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, it's just a game. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, some people it could. You know what I mean? That like one of the main triggers for me when I first realized, I had triggers and cravings was when I was driving and I had to go over to see my daughter to go to my drug dealer. That was a trigger to me. And
Yeah.
I literally called someone right away and I told him, like, that's awesome, man. You told me. I'll get you through it.
So when that situation would happen, you call and you tell them, "Hey, I'm having, I don't know, a flashback or a craving for it." Do they just like, how does that work? They just talk you off of, "Hey, let's, can you possibly give us an example, or is that too much?" Because like I don't want to, I'm just
No, you're
curious
fine.
as
No.
to how that would work.
No, I literally I called my sponsor. I'm like, hey, man, I'm driving past the entrance to where I get on the highway to go see my drug dealer, and I got a little craving. And he's like, oh, do you? I was like, yeah, I do. He's like, well, I'm glad you're telling me about this. I would definitely talk to you. I will talk you down from going, and going and get an 8-ball or the pills that I would definitely get from going on the entrance there. And it worked. Like, just listening to the tools they give me. Another thing, it's called the Big Book. I read the Big Book, and it's an AA. It's many stories of addicts and alcoholics talking about how they got sober, and it's awesome. I read that. That definitely helps me out too. There's a lot of reading material you can get on that helps, with addiction. And yeah, I mean, that's basically what I did, Derek. I just called my sponsor and he picked up, Sometimes they don't pick up, but I had a list of people I'd call, like down the list I would go through if I can get a hold of someone.
I think that just goes to show just the power of being able to share with people when you
Yep.
need to. And I think that we've talked about this at length in the podcast as well, but it's so important is that the people on the other side of the phone need to also realize that you're trusting them and how important they are. And I think
Yep.
a lot of time in the world today, whether it be drug abuse, whether it be mental disorders, whether it be a mental health crisis, whether it just be as simple as, hey man, I got fired today or whatever it is, or that a lot of people don't realize that they are that person to someone or to people. And I think a lot of time we see our buddies calling tonight, oh, what the fuck does he want? Or
Right.
it's
Yeah.
2:00 in the morning, dude. Come on, what's going on? And I think the better this world becomes, and I can personally say for like Derek's been there for me at really random times of the day, and same thing with Dyer. And it's like I think that when people act like that, and you have those kind of people in your corner, you can do whatever you want
Yep.
because you know that
Absolutely.
hey, in your case, I can, as you said, you can call your sponsor. I'll bet you he called you back, even if you didn't.
Oh
pick up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the important part is I think some people get to the like, I don't want to talk to him. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to deal with it. When in reality, it's, man, I'm trying to give you my heart and give you like what's really going on and trying to be open with you.
Yep.
And I think that that's the hard part that some people need to learn. Is how to be how to be a listener, not just
Yeah,
a sharer.
and they think they're too tough. That was my ego there for a while. I had to really bring my ego down. Just literally realized I had a problem. Like I had a serious problem. I had to face it.
There's a question I want to ask.
Yep.
As far as folks that are close to someone who is an addict or suspected of being an addict or whatever the case may be, not how hard, but what's your advice to people in that role? Like, because it's when you're as close to someone like that, like I know for me, being as close to you as I was, I didn't believe it for like the longest time. Even
Right.
even after you were in the hospital the first time, and all of this stuff, and knowing what I knew, I like, for me, I was in denial, like, not him, like,
Yeah.
I knew who you were, and what your ideals were and your upbringing and everything. For me, it was hard to believe that that was the case and that this was a real thing for you. So
Right. I
for
hid that
folks,
very well. And I wasn't gonna say to you, like, yeah, I have a problem. You know what I mean?
right,
I needed something to happen. That's dude, I was you know what I mean? Like I never really prayed a lot until like 2 months up to when I was, very deep in there. I needed help. It worked.
so what's your advice for
yeah.
people that are in that situation, people that are close to somebody who's in that struggle, and maybe the signs are there but they don't want to see it, and it's probably a hard place to speak from or something
Yeah.
to speak to because you're talking for someone else, but what
Yeah.
what's your advice for anybody that is supporting someone in a situation like you were in?
Well, a lot of things a lot of it has to do with something has to click in your head. Or, if you think God is, really there, then you just have to listen. You know what I mean? You have to break down your walls and just listen and say, "Hey, I need help." It's you literally have to. It's a fight within your own head, to get over those hurdles. It's hard. I I can hit it from you guys. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to tell you guys at all until like I got seriously caught or I fucked up.
So
Yeah,
let's say
that was.
let,
Well, I want to say this real quick too. That was the hardest part. Was Dyer even said it too. I mean, you're one of our best friends. Like, that was probably the harder pill to swallow for us, is knowing that this was actually happening. Like that,
Yeah.
to me, it sucked because it's like, how do we respond? Because we don't see that from you. Like, you never let us
what's
know. So that
funny?
was really hard to. That was a hard pill for us to swallow.
What's funny is Jake was telling me, he's like, "Yeah, dog, we're about to have an intervention with you," and I was like, "What, like Ronnie and Jersey Shore?" Because me and Jake watched Jersey Shore.
I mean, it was. We talked once we found out. We
Yep.
started talking about it, and the hardest part was
Yep.
like, how do we go about that? How do we talk to you about
Yep.
that? And obviously,
My friends at work too knew.
we
Yeah.
we finally got to get that across. But the other thing, this was brought up before Terps takes over here real quick, is they want to know in here in the chats from Rojo the Tolo. He said, did Corey have any friends that didn't stick by his side after becoming sober? Hear that happens sometimes to people. Did you ever have any of those issues of other friends, for instance, that were, they were there and then all of a sudden now that you became sober, like, yeah, no, we're out?
Two friends that I don't talk to anymore. And guess who they were? Drug dealers.
Which makes sense
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
because you're not bringing
Other
them
than that,
money.
everyone else. Yep. Yep.
I think though that goes to show the strength of your friendship circle that you developed, because there are many cases, and I've heard stories of this too, where someone's entire life is that drug or the activity or whatever it is that they're addicted to, and their entire friend circle becomes that thing or that drug or the people around that thing or drugs. And I think for you, having the strong friend circle is something that really, I'm going to guess, probably helped you, just because you didn't have to worry about Derek leaving at the end of the
Yeah.
day. You didn't have to worry about, Dyer leaving or Jake leaving. And I think that that's something that people take for granted sometimes, is that when they have such a strong friend circle, you can
Yeah.
kind of rely on that, where a lot of people aren't that lucky and don't have that, or they push them all away.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, that's the
But
one thing I can say. You definitely didn't, you never pushed any of us away. I can actually say that. You actually, you kind of kept it from us, obviously, but then once we found out, then we all started chatting and, getting more involved,
Yeah.
because we didn't know. So it was like, it was hard for us to get involved.
Was it a
Yeah.
relief to you how they reacted, in the sense of like they were still there, they were still supporting, or were you still not quite at that stage yet of the healing process?
It's a good question. With I just this whole scenario made me believe in God a lot more, and it's hard to explain that, but I just like that night I hit a parked car, like I felt a relief on my shoulders, even though I went and did more pills after that. But you know what I mean? Like people knew I had a problem. You know what I mean? And I didn't know how to tell anyone, and I just needed an act of God. You know what I mean? And everyone's different though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not saying, God is the answer for everyone, but for me it was.
Well, I do
I
want to
wanna-
share one thing too,
Yeah, go
because
for it.
my mom's going to bed, but they actually
Thanks.
didn't know how bad it was, and so hearing you speak, they obviously they love you, they're happy for you,
Yep.
and they just
Love
wanted
them
you to know
too.
that they were listening. So I wanted to share that before they went to bed. So you got people
Awesome.
watching and listening. There's a lot of people that are in here too. That there's a lot of people in your corner, bro, and
Yeah.
I know we're still
Oh,
going. So I just wanted to share that before Richie and Wendy passed out.
Right. Yeah.
I want to
Appreciate that.
I want to circle back to something I think Dyer is trying to get to a little earlier.
Yeah.
But so let's say, and of course it's different for everybody, but let's say that you called Dyer and
Yeah.
you said, Dyer, I need help.
Yeah.
What kind of advice could you give to Dyer in terms of how he responds to you? Because obviously you're sponsor, you're helping people now. I'm sure you've gotten some
Yeah.
calls from people who are in that situation.
Yeah.
How can they best respond to that situation to help the best that they can,
Yeah.
even if it's something that they don't have experience with or are kind of scared, that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
In the area of being an addict, it's called a step 13. There's 12 steps. Step 13 is when you go and you actually physically try to go help someone. I mean, it can be very dangerous. You don't know what you're walking into. I mean, if someone calls you though, they probably want you to do that. Like if I called Dyer, he knows I need fucking help. Like I know Dyer knows me. Like he would just be a friend. He knows how to be a friend to me. You know what I mean? He's always been like the best friend ever for that type of scenario. Like honestly,
So the big thing is just be the friend. Just
Yep.
be there.
just be there.
Just be the friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yep.
I think a lot of people do have questions. That is the hard part. Is okay. What do I do when my friend calls? Or what do I do? Because I don't. How do
Yeah,
I
just
handle
listen.
this?
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, is that the best
Listen.
advice? Just listen.
Yeah, listen and just like if they're like, hey man, I need help, just be like, okay, whatever we got to do, buddy. I'll be there. If you want me to come get you and take you to the hospital, I will. If you want me to take you to the treatment center, I will. You know what I mean? Because some people don't want other people to know. You know what I mean? And I still don't put a lot of that on social media. I mean, I'll probably get to that, and realize the scrutiny I'll take for it, but it's fine. You know what I mean? But me talking to you guys, this is a huge step for me, but I've always wanted to do it. So
I think for me
I've done-
personally, I'm sorry.
yeah, sorry. Oh,
No,
I was
go
saying
ahead.
I've done probably almost 10 leads now. This is like number 10 or number 11 for a lead. And I think you know what a lead is. Like I tell my story and
Yeah.
And when I'm done, I say I pass. Like I'm done. Like share my experience and strength and hope.
I think that for me personally, in terms of like I've kept quiet and serious things that I've shared, and for me it was overcoming the fear of being judged a little bit
Yeah,
by people.
yeah,
For me, it was
absolutely.
very much that okay, I want to open up, but are they going to think I'm a bitch? Are they going to think that like
Mhm.
I'm pressing? Are they going to think that like I'm making shit up or just trying to exaggerate or whatever it is? And how did you have any of that, or how did you overcome that, or was that not really an issue
Oh,
for you? Because it's
absolutely.
different for everybody.
When I went into treatment, they asked me if I want to do IOP, which is I literally drive there every day, or I can do inpatient, stay there. I'm glad I did IOP. I mean, I probably could have went there, but from the story I've heard at some treatment centers, it can be like it depends on your experience and how people treat you there and stuff. But it's just Um, it's. I'm sorry. What was the part of your question again? Sorry.
That's all good.
I'm just.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Did you experience, or like when you started sharing your story and started doing leads and everything like that?
Oh yeah.
Did you experience like, are they gonna judge me, or like,
Oh, yeah.
like that kind of thing? And like, how did you get over that, or are you still dealing with that?
No, now I'm pretty much over it. But my first two leads, dude, I was a nervous wreck. Like you could ask my sponsor, like what I looked like. I looked like a deer in the headlight. But I did it, and I kept doing it, and I've gotten better. And I mean, this wasn't perfect, but I thought I did okay for you guys.
Yeah,
you
You
did
did
awesome.
you
man.
yeah
You've
you
done
knocked it out of the
11
park.
out of 10.
incredibly.
Like you've got a lot of
Thanks.
people that are in here that I'm not kidding. They love what you've done. It takes a lot of courage to do what you're doing.
Yes.
None of us
Yep.
in here have experienced that. None of us have the ability to say what you're saying because we don't know what you feel. What you're giving us is authentic. It's real. And that's what
Yep.
people want to see. They don't want a show. They don't want something fake. You're giving them real content, real thoughts, real things that happened, and you're letting people into your world by doing that. That is what's huge. You took a huge step by doing that, and you've handled it well. Like, to be honest, I've had to keep back tears because it was emotional, because I was kind of reliving some of this stuff with you and thinking about that stuff that, when me and Dyer were trying to reach out to you and Jape. So you fucking killed it. You've done really, really well, and answering the questions and just sharing that with us is huge.
With the, yeah,
Always.
exactly. Just to build on that too, like just to do what you've done to get to where you are today is incredible enough, but the fact that you have the courage to talk about it and to tell people your story is even so much more,
Yeah.
like the difficulty that probably is that it takes to do that.
Yeah.
And then what it means to the people that are hearing it, because I think that there's probably everybody that's listening to this now can connect to this in some way. Somebody close to them, or maybe them themselves, is going through something similar to what you did,
Yeah.
and it's something that people don't talk about enough because there is that stigma attached. And the fact that you're doing it here with us today, man, it's such a huge thing, and I'm so glad that you did it.
Yeah.
I am.
For the people that's listening, the motto I live by now is just one day at a time. So all you gotta do is stay sober today. That's it. And that can be really tough for addicts like that are, getting triggers and cravings. But if you get that mindset, you can do anything.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just, I want to reiterate it. I wasn't trying to finish it, but if there's any more that you want to share with us, we're all open to it. I'll leave that for you to decide if you want to keep sharing some more thoughts of what you've experienced and whatnot.
I mean, if they got any more questions that want me to answer, I'm here. I'm an open book.
Well, the good thing is this is live, so please let us know. We can easily ask Corey. He's, like he said, he's an open book. He wants to share. He wants to help. It just shows a lot about what he's overcome and what he's done. I will say this: do you have the coins by any chance? I know that's the one thing that
right here.
I would like to let people see that too, because you shared that with us as well.
Yeah.
And there is one thing I do want to share. It's personal, and it means a lot to myself, and I know it means even more to you.
I love that.
And
It's 1 year.
there's yes,
1 year coin, and then 2 year coin, and it has this. It's called the Serenity Prayer on it. It says, "God grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change, the courage to change things I can, and the wisdom to know difference." And I always say that to myself, especially when I'm working, I'm out in traffic, and I can't control, how other people drive, that helps out a lot.
So the road rage.
True.
There it is.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep.
Like I said, the one thing I do want to share while you were doing that too is people that don't know this, and this is tough, but Corey's mom has passed away a while ago from cancer, and
Yeah.
Corey was going through the sobriety at that time, and I could be wrong on this, so you can correct me if I am. When Corey got the 1 year mark, I think that's when your mom had passed away, and I want not only yourself, but this is where we know that God works in mysterious ways. He's continued to watch over you, and your mom is that person that's with you when you have those struggles or those itches that you feel. She's in your ear telling you no. So I do want you to know that is, everything that you've overcome, you've done a lot, but this is one too that everybody loves their mom. So I know how hard that is for you, but she's definitely very proud of you, just like we are. You're doing a fine job. I just want you to know that.
She saw me get sober for a full year, and I had one of those coins put in a casket with her. So she's got that down there with her in the casket.
It's very cool.
I think
And the will that it takes, I think, because I think something like that and going through that kind of a thing when you were so early in your sobriety was probably very difficult, and I think that should be known as well, that you were able to keep your sobriety during that entire situation with your family and your mom, because man, that probably took a lot, and I'm proud of you for that, man.
Yeah, a lot of times, a lot of people don't tell you this, but after loved one passes, I get extremely sad, man. A lot of times, I get very, very sad because I think about my mom not here anymore. Just goes to show your loved ones, man. Hug them tonight, or anytime you think about that.
No doubt. Well, with that, Corey, I just want to say from myself, from Terps, from Dyer, what you did was incredible. To overcome this and be as far as you are, that's huge. I've done some cool things in my life, but what you've overcome outweighs every bit of it. And being able to share your story is what's huge. None of us in here know what this is like, and for you to be able to come on here and give us the perspective of your life and what you've dealt with shows a lot about yourself, shows a lot that you care about other people and you're wanting to help other people. That's huge. And we can't thank you enough for being here. I know it's taken a minute. You've been wanting to come on here for a while, and we finally found the right reason and everything to get this out there and get your story out there, because one, not only are you a friend, you're a family to us. We love you. We're very grateful for you. So I appreciate you taking the time to come on here and share your story with us. We're going to, if you don't mind, before we get off of here, say your Instagram, your Facebook, where you want people to reach you. Don't put your phone number out there. Just use your social media platforms so that people can reach out. I'm sure you will get some people that are going to get involved that want to just continue to hear your story, or maybe just keep tabs on you and see how you're doing. They're very, everybody in here that's been in my chat, there has not been one person that did not care. They were all very excited for you to take the step that you did, and that was to come on here and share your story. So you've got a lot of support here. Obviously you knew us, but you've got a lot more that's out there, and it's going to continue to get that
just
way.
have them add me on Facebook. That's what I'm mostly on. I share a lot of recovery stuff on there too.
What's your
Facebook? Corey Mayer.
So that's going to be CoreyMaier, just so you guys know.
First and last names.
That's where
I
you'll
got a
find
picture
him.
of my daughter.
Yep, you'll see a picture of Harper on there.
Yep.
I love it.
Terps, Dyer, anything from you guys before we let him go?
We have a guest tradition, but we'll
Oh, yeah. Yes, please. No, do it.
No, we're going to let Dyer, if anything else, because that's what we're going to end with.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Dyer, anything you want to address, say, ask?
Yeah, I just want to say there are people that go through what you went through that that aren't still here. And
Yep. Absolutely.
man, the world's a better place that you're still with us. And anybody who's going through that now or has a loved one going through that now, the world's a better place with them there too. And there's a place for all those folks. So
Yeah.
we're just glad you're here and tell your story.
Absolutely, brother. Love you.
Love you.
Yeah, and if anyone ever needs help or needs to reach out, we are always available. We have the resources to get you the help that you need. Or if you just need someone to talk to, feel free to reach out to us at Off the Fair Pole on Twitter, or any one of us through our personal Twitter accounts or through Corey's Facebook. We will be more than happy to put you in contact or sit there and listen, whatever you guys need. I do say this just because we're on Twitch, and just because we have to for Amazon purposes. Chat, do not take it personally if you are in a person's stream and you share something and they do not want to listen at that point in time. Twitch is a public medium and should be used as such, not so much as a personal place for you to share your deepest feelings. Some people aren't always comfortable with that, but you're always willing to whisper, DM, anything like that. But just for legal purposes with Amazon, just have to make that known. Because there unfortunately have been issues with that on Twitch, and people have, so just be careful in that case. But like I said, if you ever need to DM anybody, we're always here for that to be done. But we do have a tradition that we end all of our guests with that we started doing. We're going to go from serious to a little more lighthearted. We ask all of our guests 5 rapid fire questions. You have to answer them off the top of your head. After you answer the questions, you are able to go back and change anything if you would want to do so, or expound on it a little bit if you want. We've all done them. Dyer's done it. I've done it. Derek's done it. Carlos Rodon's done it. Stephen Johns has done it. Every guest that we've had on has done it. So are you ready for this?
Absolutely.
I think the first question is an easy one for you. Which one of your teams will be the next one to win a championship?
Oh, I'm wearing it. The Bengals. Who day?
In order for the Bengals to keep their winning streak going, what do they need to maintain?
Just keep up that fire. Take all the hate, everyone was it Eric Weddle said that the Bengals were going to get smashed. They had no chance. And just keep winning, dude, because that fuels the Bengals a lot, I think.
The next thing you're ordering for dinner is?
Pizza. I love pizza.
I feel like I could have said that.
If you could play any sport professionally, which sport would that be?
Football.
Football.
I'd love to, yeah.
Quarterback.
Yep.
Up to this point in time, what is your personal favorite sports moment as a fan?
Man, I don't really. Well, I guess this always stick in my mind when I was back when I became a very, very hardcore Duke Blue Devils fan when they were playing Kentucky and Kentucky went up by one with 1.3 seconds left, and then Christian Laettner hit that fall-away jumper to win the game. Well, my sister was talking mad shit to me as a little kid, made me cry. And I remember going crazy back on her after Duke won. Yeah,
I could see it already. I could see you talking so much shit to her, too.
I love any of those questions you want to change or go over, or are you happy with your answers?
I'm happy with them.
Happy. What position in football?
Quarterback.
I was quarterback.
Quarterback?
Yeah. Yep. I had a pretty good arm.
We had a damn good arm on him.
Hell yeah, dog.
Can I get a who day, though? Can you give me one who day for everybody in here?
Who day?
No, do it. Give me the whole thing.
Oh, wait. Who day? Who day? Who they think gonna beat them Bengals? Who they? Who they? Who they think gonna beat them Bengals? Nobody.
I had to do that for you.
Yeah.
2 claps into Ric Flair. Woo!
I still need to get that sound. Dude. God damn it, Dyer. You're supposed to remind me, and I didn't. I have all the other sounds. We didn't use that one too much today, but
didn't need to.
We didn't need to. It was a whole lot of. So.
Well, Corey, man, I can't thank you enough. Seriously, it's
Oh yeah, brother. Anytime.
Appreciate it. We love you, man. It's this was
Love
fun.
you
This was
too.
good hearing your side of the story. So appreciate that. And yep, Terps, go ahead, take it away.
Well, when the Bengals win, you can come back and you can gloat over the masses.
We can let you do that.
Absolutely.
You're dubbed.
Absolutely.
But for all of us here at Off the Fair Pole, thanks for hanging with us. Thanks for listening. For those of you on Twitch, we'll be back next week. Those of you listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, anywhere you listen to your podcast, be sure to give us a comment, a like, and or a follow. It helps us out a great deal. We'll be back next week for more Off the Fair Pole fun. But until then, have a wonderful evening, guys. Deuces.
Okay, bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Did Corey just up and leave?